Who was the one that betrayed Jesus?
Judas.
Judas. How did Judas die?
He hung himself.
He threw pieces of silver in the temple, departed, went and hanged himself, right?
Yeah.
In the same Bible, you will find Judas, his death is where he, there we are. He went, now this man purchased a field with the wages of iniquity. Falling headlong, he burst open in the middle and all his entrails gushed out. So Judas, if you look at the story of Judas betraying Jesus, one version is telling you that he hanged himself. One version is telling you that he bought a field, he didn't throw away the money, and he fell and his guts gushed out. You see the contradiction?
I see that.
You see that,
yes.
right?
What exactly do they call contradictions in the scriptures? Is there anything like contradictions in the scriptures? No, not a single contradictions in it, but misconception. Now let us see from the scriptures what they call contradictions. According to the book of Matthew chapter 27 from verse 3 to 10, there says that Judas returned the money he was paid to the Jews. The money he was paid to betray Jesus, he returned it to the Jews and cast it in before the temple, which the Jews used to purchase the potter's field. While the book of the Acts of Apostles, the account says, according to the book of Acts of Apostles chapter 1 verse 18, there says that Judas used the money to purchase field for himself where he committed suicide. So this is the contradiction they found. He used the money to purchase field and he returned the money to the Jews. But the question is, the money that Judas returned, did Judas return the money the same day he was paid? No, Judas did not return the money the same day he was paid. He returned it within a long period of time. The Bible says that from the day Judas was paid to perform the task, he began to seek for an opportunity. He sought for an opportunity to betray Jesus from the day he was paid. Remember, according to the book of Matthew chapter 26, from verse 13 to 17, there says that a woman anointed the feet of Jesus Christ while the apostles and the Jews were there. By that time, they have not captured Jesus. The Passover has not even come. So when the woman anointed the feet of Jesus Christ, Judas went out from there and received an offer from the Jews. The Bible said from the time he received the offer, he began to look for an opportunity that he might betray Jesus Christ. Now, from the time he received the money, none of us can tell whether he found the opportunity within 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 week. Even if he found the opportunity in 5 days, 5 days is enough for any man to use the money he was paid to purchase anything he wanted to purchase. What it is landed property. So Judas had enough time to use the money and purchase a land for himself. From the time he was paid, as the book of Matthew chapter 26 verse 13 to 17 said here, that from the time he was paid, he began to look for an opportunity that he might betray Jesus. So Judas can easily use the money and purchase a bit for himself. After all, it's a huge amount of money he received from such an easy task. Just show us where Jesus Christ rests in the night, which he knows he can do. So he can see that as an opportunity to acquire a landed property for himself. The money wasn't his life savings. So why would you think it impossible for him to have another money to pay back if he has used the money to purchase a land? The point I'm trying to prove here is the book of Acts of Apostles, which says that Judas used the money to purchase a field for himself. The account is true. And the account of the book of Matthew 27, which says that Judas returned the money to the Jews, is also true. Because the scripture has explained that Judas did not return the money the same day he was paid. He still have a lot of time to use the money and purchase a field for himself. And there is a possibility that Judas has his own life savings from where he can be able to pay back the money when he finds out that everything has turned around. Because the Bible also made us to understand that Judas never knew that Jesus was going to be condemned to death. When he saw he was condemned to death, he felt remorse. He repented. He went and took the money and brought it back to them. So these shouldn't be seen as a contradiction in the scriptures, but as misconception from those who study the scriptures to find contradictions. And that's why I always say, they find contradictions in the scriptures because they study to find contradictions. But we understand the scriptures because we study to understand the scriptures. You cannot possibly think that that was the only money Judas had in the world. Assuming he have used the money to purchase a field for himself, he don't have another money to pay back. He will use his life savings to pay back, seeing himself in that very situation. Now, this is what happened. Judas never knew that Jesus Christ was going to be condemned to death. But when he found out, he came back to the Jews. You never told me you were going to condemn him to death. Why? Look at your money. He went and took his life savings. Look at your money. He brought it back to them and cast it before them. The Jews said up to him. So when Jesus was crucified, what did Judas do? He went straight to the land he purchased with the money and committed suicide.